Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be doing a brake flush for this Subaru Forester. I just did a full brake job. I did a video on the front, I did a video on the rear. While it's on all four tires, it's best to do a brake flush. It makes it a lot easier. So we're going to start doing a brake flush with the kit I have right here. It's a lot going on, but you just need a few parts. This here is a master cylinder adapter set. I bought it because I do quite a bit of cars. The silver one's for a Toyota, but we're going to be using the J adapter, which is the size for Subaru, which is a 57 millimeter outer diameter and an inner at 50.7. And this is going to be the cap we use for the master cylinder. After that, what we're going to use is what you see on the left here, which is going to be the hydraulic brake and pressure bleeder. And this is basically, you're going to pump it up after you attach the master cylinder. You're going to fill it up with as much fluid as you can. I pretty much use one of the larger size bottles, a quart or 946 mLs. And this is like a few bottles of the smaller one. And then you just got to dump it all in here, pressurize it to about maybe 20 psi. And then you're going to go around the car and basically bleed the brake. Alright, as far as getting the hydraulic bleeder set up, I'm going to spin this cap off here where the pump is, and I'm just going to flip it over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bottle of brake fluid, which is this Prestone Max. You just need .3 brake fluid for your car, depending on what car you're using. But we're just going to pour this whole bottle in here. We might not use all the fluid, but we just want to make sure it doesn't run out of fluid as the hydraulic pressure bleeder is feeding in new fluid into the master cylinder. So it fills about, one bottle fills about maybe a third or even a little bit more than that. So we're just about ready to get started. You want to make sure this is on as tight as you can. There's a little plastic wrench that helps you tighten it, but you just want to make sure it's tight. Yellow clap here, you're just going to spin left to open and you're going to lift it out, and this is your master cylinder cap with a plastic plug on top. And then this is the J adapter that I have, and we're going to put it right on top and we're going to spin it and hopefully it fits. Alright, I was able to get it in. You just got to press it down a little bit and spin to the right. Hopefully there won't be a lot of fluid that comes out, but we're lucky that it also clears the STI strut bar. And then we're going to actually use this quick adapter over here, and we're going to attach it. So we're going to pull up and bring it down. Give it a little tug, just make sure it's on right. So now we're about ready to start to pressurize this bleeder system. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pump it. I'm going to show you guys it here too. So you just keep pumping, and you don't want to watch that master cylinder, make sure there's no fluid running out there. If there is fluid coming out, that means there's a hole in the cap, or it's not the right size. And so I'm about 20 psi right now, and I'm just going to rest it here. And what I'm going to do now is take out this brake bleeder bottle kit, and I also covered the cap with some plastic, but I'm going to take that off. And the way we're going to work on this brake flush is we're going to work the furthest side from the master cylinder. It's going to be rear passenger, rear driver, passenger front, and then we're going to go closest to it, which is going to be the driver front. Alright, so we're over on the furthest side to the master cylinder, and this is the passenger rear. Right over here is the caliper. You're going to follow the brake line, and it's going to go into the caliper through a screw or a bolt. And then you're going to look for a plastic cap, and you're going to pull that out. It's a little tiny plastic cap right over here. And then right here, right over there, this is the nipple or the bleeder screw. Alright, so I got the right wrench. It's going to be a 10 millimeter. It fits perfectly around the bleeder screw. And I'm going to put it in a place where I can actually loosen it and then tightening at the same time. So this is like that, and I'm going to take this cap from the bottle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right above the bleeder nipple. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to loosen the screw, and you're going to see quite a bit of fluid. It's going to turn yellow or even darker, and it's going to flush out into this bleeder bottle. And it's already pressurized on the master cylinder. I'll loosen it now. And it's just going to come right out and fill into this bottle. Filling up into the reservoir. And what we want to do is fill it up a little bit, and we want to watch for the fluid to get more clear. And then we also want to make sure there's no air bubbles coming out. Earlier I had air bubbles, and so I used a little zip tie to wrap around the little plastic cap, and it removed some of the air bubbles, and I don't see any coming through at this moment. And so you can see that it's been filling up right here. The fluid's a little bit dark, and it'll lighten up over time as it comes out. And if you want, you could check the pressure, and if it's too low, you could increase the pressure. I just increased it to like 25 psi. It dropped a little bit, and just let it keep coming out. Alright, and you can see that the reservoir is filling up a little bit. It's almost about 2/3. So I don't see any air bubbles coming out at this point. I'm going to tighten it now, and we're going to lock it in. Once you tighten it, there won't be any air bubbles coming out, or you don't have to worry about excess fluid. And then you could just release the hose. And then you want to cap it off, and that's one side done. And so let me show you guys what it looks like. You can see a little bit of brake fluid coming out, but the bottle filled up pretty good. I just wanted to get as much fluid as I could off each side. And we're going to empty it and then work on the other one. Alright, we're at the driver rear. Pull out that plastic cap. We're going to do the same thing. Put the wrench right on the nipple screw, enough so that you can open it up. And then we're going to put the nipple screw on, and at this point we're just going to loosen it and hopefully watch some fluid come out. I don't see any air bubbles either, so this is really good. And if you look down below, you'll see the bottle filling up as well. And so it's at a good point where halfway fill. I'm going to tighten it up, close the line, and then pull out, cap it off with the plastic nipple cap. And we're going to jump over to the passenger front. Alright, so I'm at the passenger front. Same process, taking out that nipple screw. Just take that plastic cap off first, it's on pretty tight. And then we're going to put the wrench on. Then we're going to put on the cap. Just make sure it's on tight. Dry my hand a little bit, and then I'm going to start to loosen it. So it's flowing through pretty quickly. I saw a few air bubbles, but it's probably because of the little cap, but it's gone now. And we're just going to open it up and just let it fill up. And as you can see, I'll show you guys the bottle. It's filling up about 1 inch in. And I'm just going to let it keep going. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to tighten it up again. And then I'm going to release. I'm going to wipe off the nipple just in case there's excess fluid. We're just going to cap it off. One more to go. I'm just going to pour this out like usual. Alright, so we're over at the last one. And there's probably about 1 inch of fluid left. And that's plenty. I don't think it's going to run out. But if you do feel like it's going to run out, you could depressurize this. And then all you have to do is fill up more fluid and then pump it back up. But I've done this before, and this is just plenty for that very last one. Especially at this line area. And so I just pump it up to 30 again, PSI. And let's go ahead and drop over and take a look at the last one here. And all we need to do is do the same thing. Take off the plastic cap, put that 10 on. We're going to loosen it, so we're going to go up. There's plenty of room here, so I'm going to go up a little further. And then bottle's tight, put the cap on, and then we're going to loosen. Fluid's coming out, no air bubbles. You can hear the bottle filling up as well. And I can see the fluid getting sent into the master cylinder. And it's still pretty good, no air bubbles. And it's almost halfway. You could bleed it as much as you want, but this is clean fluid, so I don't have to bleed much. And I'm just making sure I'm getting rid of some of the old fluid. And just making sure it's a consistent stream with no air bubbles in there. And at this point, I am gonna close the line. The cap just keeps it from getting dirt, dust and debris getting in the nipple, the bleeder screw, and we're done. All right, so you saw that we bled all 4 sides, and we're pretty much done with the flush. So now we just need to release the master cylinder adapter. But before you do that, you want to go back here, and this kit, the OMT kit, doesn't have a button to depressurize. And the only way to depressurize is loosen the top cap. That's why they give you this wrench, because it might be a little tight at this point. You can see that's clocking in. If you zoom in there, it's clocking in about 26, 28 psi. And so what we want to do is depressurize. As I spin, it's going to drop down to 0. Fluid's not coming out, but air is coming out. 20, and it's down to 0. And now that it's at 0, I'm going to tighten it back, just so I don't spill any more fluid. Put this aside. So we're going to do the quick release. I'm going to pull this thing out, and there shouldn't be any fluid coming out, but you can pretty much just wipe it just in case. 0 fluid. And then you just gotta spin to the left and take out the cap. No fluid coming out. And then what you want to do is just check to see if you have enough fluid. Alright, so basically nothing spilt. However, the brake fluid is not at the max line. It's a little bit in between the min line and the max. Min being down here where my finger is. And I see that the fluid is just above this ridge here. And so what I'm going to do is just top it off till it gets to the max. And all I'm going to do is just fill up. Just make sure you don't spill. I spilt a little bit from pouring. But you're just going to top it off. And you can see that it is right at the max line now. So you're just going to, if you spilt anything, just wipe it off. But I'm right at the max line. And you just want to watch it after a few days to see if it drops. But then you just tighten the cap, and you're good to go. So after doing your brake bleed job, all you need to do is just put the wheels back on and bed the brakes if you change out your brake pads. But otherwise, it should be fine. Just make sure you check it every week just to check the level. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this is helpful, and have a good one.